Stagecoach turned into a total circus this year. The crowd looked way thinner than people expected, and instead of big festival energy, it felt packed with random celebrities trying way too hard to be seen. Sydney Sweeney had everybody talking because she spent the whole weekend making sure all eyes were on her. She was running around, tossing bras and panties everywhere, and then trying to show off her rumored boyfriend, Scooter Braun, which still has people confused. She made it very clear she was in the building, and she wasn't alone either. Other controversial celebrity names popped up too, like Diplo, who somehow keeps moving past every headline and rumor around him. Then you had Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis showing up, looking like they were trying to smooth things over and remind people they still exist in that celebrity world. Honestly, Stagecoach feels like the one place where all these awkward Hollywood moments can happen without anyone blinking. Everybody knows Coachella takes over April with 2 weekends, Weekend 1 and Weekend 2. And then right after that comes Stagecoach, the country version with more boots, hats, and southern vibes. It's supposed to be more laid back, a little more chill. But from everything that came out this year, it looked like a full mess with one cringe moment after another. We have to start with Sydney Sweeney because wow, she was everywhere. At one point, she was literally tossing panties into the crowd during a surprise appearance at Stagecoach. Now, maybe those were from her own lingerie line because, honestly, they looked more like bloomers than anything else. I'm not here judging, though. There was definitely a lot of fabric there. And hey, support matters. People like to feel secure. Sydney really went all out. She even had a little siren shop set up, which is the name tied to her lingerie brand. If you remember before, she had people talking when bras were hanging all over the Hollywood Hills sign. This time, there were bras and panties hanging from the ceiling like party decorations. It looked wild, but also kind of messy. I'm still not sure what exact vibe she was going for there. And then came the big moment. She grabbed one and basically launched it into the crowd like a slingshot. The whole thing happened during Diplo's honky tonk set, which made it even more random. Diplo brought her out and said, "Let's get some of these panties right here," before quickly making it clear they were meant for the ladies, not the guys. But honestly, this is Stagecoach. And after seeing Coachella where plenty of guys had thongs hanging out of their jeans, I wouldn't be shocked if some of them wanted a Sydney Sweeney thong too. The whole weekend felt like one giant celebrity side quest, and people definitely noticed.
Let's get some of these panties right here. This is for the ladies, not the... Silly panties!
One person summed it up perfectly by saying, "Just why I have nothing to say." And honestly, same. Sydney Sweeney keeps having people compare her to Cassie from Euphoria, and at this point, people are convinced she's not even acting. Cassie was never exactly predictable, and Sydney gives off that same chaotic energy. Another person wrote, "And so weird and for what?" And that really says it all. One thing many people seem sure about is that Sydney really is her character Cassie, and Stagecoach looked like the perfect place for that energy. She was completely surrounded by her people. And of course, all the girls out there absolutely love Sydney Sweeney. Some want to be her, others want to look like her, and honestly, I get it. She has that very specific it girl energy that pulls people in. Depending on your vibe, Sydney is either your style icon or your whole personality for the weekend. Here's a clip of Sydney hanging out and vibing with some of her fans. At one point, Sydney Sweeney grabbed the mic at her siren saloon, and yes, it looked like she was trying to perform "You Look Like You Love Me" by Ella Langley and Riley Green. Everybody knows Sydney can talk, but let's be real, she talks like a full-on valley girl. So hearing her try to sing, that had people very curious. The first thing people noticed was how far she was holding the microphone from her mouth. Like, girl, bring it closer. It looked like she didn't even want the mic near her. People were watching like, what exactly is happening here? She was definitely on brand though. Blonde hair, boots, country bar setup, it honestly looked like her dream world. And once the clip started spreading online, the comments were brutal. One person said, "Which episode of Euphoria is this?" Another joked, "All I can see is Dolly Parton." And somebody else fired right back with, "Don't do Dolly like that. That one hurt." Another person asked, "How did they not fall out? Is her microphone even on?" Honestly, fair questions. Now, speaking of random Stagecoach appearances, Diplo looked way too happy during all of this, and people online were side-eyeing him hard. One person even said, "Diplo posts so much AI, I don't even know what's real from him." That might be one of the funniest comments of the weekend because honestly, it fits. Then things got even more awkward when Sydney jumped onto Scooter Braun's shoulders. Yes, Scooter Braun. And people were instantly locked in watching that moment. Not because it was romantic, but because everyone was wondering if he could actually hold her up. Sydney's not a big girl at all, but Scooter looked like he was fighting for his life. I was watching that clip just waiting for her to tip over. It really felt like she saw other girls sitting on their boyfriend's shoulders and thought, "Come on, Scooter, your turn." But the man looked like he was struggling. His face was turning red and people noticed immediately. One comment said, "I was looking for a comment on the hair extensions being horrible, but I realized it needed to be me." Another person added, "Scooter's face." And honestly, that says everything. That was exactly what stood out most. His expression looked like pure panic. And people also noticed how Sydney kept looking around, clearly checking who was filming her. Someone pointed out, "The way that she's searching for people filming her. Girl, mind you, she's the only one on someone's shoulders." That part was impossible to miss. Then came the big question everybody keeps asking, why is she with him? A lot of people are still confused by this whole pairing. But according to sources close to Scooter, they're apparently serious, like actually serious. People may be confused, but insiders are saying this relationship is the real deal. People close to Sydney and Scooter are saying this was never supposed to be just some quick festival fling. A lot of people around them thought it would be temporary, but apparently they're fully committed. Sources say Sydney really values Scooter's support when it comes to her projects, and she actually likes hearing his feedback. They say he's emotionally invested in her career and wants the best for her. Now, let's be honest, Scooter Braun knows how to move in business. The man has made serious money and built huge careers. Just look at the names connected to him. Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. There's a reason people know his name. Of course, there's also a reason several of those same people moved on from working with him. He's known for being sharp, strategic, and very focused on business. That's why some people think Sydney could be looking at this relationship as more than just romance. It could also be about leveling up her brand. And honestly, in Hollywood, people notice that kind of thing fast. But if he's been giving her advice lately, some people are saying maybe she should rethink that because her public image has been getting dragged hard lately. Then, we also saw Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis show up at Sydney's Siren Saloon on Friday, dancing along with her and trying to blend into the Stagecoach scene. And that definitely caught attention because those two have stayed pretty low-key for a while now. People remember how Ashton and Mila stepped way back from the spotlight after all the backlash tied to Danny Masterson's legal case. Since then, it's felt like they've been on a long celebrity pause. So seeing them suddenly pop up again at Stagecoach had people raising eyebrows. It looked like they were slowly trying to work their way back into public life. And honestly, something feels different about them now. A lot of people online were saying they just don't have that same Hollywood shine anymore. Ashton especially had people talking. Some were saying he doesn't even give off major celebrity energy these days. He looked more like someone trying very hard to remind people he still belongs in that world. And yes, of course Scooter was right there too. That whole group together had people side-eyeing the entire scene. One person wrote, "When did we uncancel Ashton Kutcher?" Another said, "These four would hang out, nightmare rotation." And somebody else added, "Now all that's missing is Blake and Ryan." Ouch! Another comment simply said, "No thanks." And honestly, that summed up a lot of reactions. People were not feeling that friend group at all. Seeing Ashton being friendly with Scooter had people connecting dots fast. One person pointed out how strange it looked seeing two heavily criticized industry names moving so comfortably in the same circle. For a lot of viewers, it all just clicked. The whole Stagecoach weekend felt less like a music festival and more like a celebrity reputation cleanup tour.
Take the third verse? I'll do third verse. Like it sounds wrong, I just don't belong. Hey, I've been here before.
One person wrote, "Ashton should definitely stick to acting," and honestly, that comment got a lot of agreement. Another person said, "Put me out of my misery," while someone else added, "He is drunk and somebody needs to buy that sound guy a drink." The reactions were rough and people were not holding back. But Stagecoach wasn't just about Sydney, Scooter, Ashton, and Mila. Diplo was there too, of course. He always seems to pop up in these festival scenes. A lot of people have strong opinions about him, and he continues to stay in the middle of controversy while somehow still showing up everywhere. Then you also had Pitbull and Ludacris in the mix, plus Guy Fieri with that giant signature hat. It was honestly the most random celebrity lineup ever. Like everybody who missed the Coachella invite somehow ended up at Stagecoach instead. Now let's talk about one of the wildest moments of the weekend. The emergency situation? No, thankfully nothing dramatic like a stage light falling on someone's head. But during the main stage, a huge message suddenly popped up telling everyone there was an emergency evacuation. The screen read, "The festival has been postponed until further notice. Please move quickly and calmly to the nearest exit." And honestly, calmly? If I saw that flashing on a giant screen, I would not be moving calmly at all. I'd be running full speed asking, "Wait, what is happening right now?" That kind of message instantly sends people into panic mode. Luckily, Stagecoach wasn't shut down for the whole day. It was only paused for a little while before they reopened everything. But the reason for the temporary shutdown was still pretty intense. It was because of a major sandstorm, like a full desert windstorm rolling through the festival grounds. When I saw the clips, it looked unreal. Dust flying everywhere, strong winds, people trying to hold themselves together. It seriously looked like something out of a movie. I was watching thinking, I would have been blown away.
Oh, that.
Fuck!
That's super windy.
That was fuck!
Yeah, it is. Y'all good?
Yeah, they... Whoa, that was not cool.
Imagine having to camp in the middle of that mess. Dust everywhere, wind flying nonstop. I already feel like coughing just thinking about it, and I wasn't even there. Trying to sleep in a tent during a desert storm sounds like pure chaos. Now, environmental experts have also been raising concerns about how Stagecoach affects the California desert, and honestly, it's an interesting point. Some people focus on Stagecoach, but Coachella is even bigger. More people, more setups, more fake grass everywhere. Stagecoach feels a little more rough around the edges. You can definitely tell they don't dress it up the same way. But deserts aren't just empty land people can treat like a giant party lot. They're actually very sensitive ecosystems. Experts say festivals like Stagecoach can seriously strain the environment, from compacting the soil, disrupting animal habitats, using huge amounts of water, and creating tons of waste in a place that already struggles with limited resources. And one of the biggest problems is the buildup around the event, not just the festival itself. It's the traffic, the endless cars, the emissions, and the repeated use of that same land over and over again. That part really adds up. Anyone who has seen Coachella traffic knows it gets absolutely insane, so you can imagine what that does to the area. One expert explained that people need to stop treating deserts like blank backgrounds for parties and photo shoots. Instead, they should see them as living environments that people are only temporarily entering. And with that comes responsibility. Honestly, that makes sense. But good luck explaining that to Sydney Sweeney while she's out there launching bras and panties into the crowd. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a desert coyote running around with one of those hanging off its head. And then somebody posted a video from what looked like the campgrounds, where someone had a whole mini pool filled with water in the middle of the desert. That definitely made people side-eye things even more, so maybe the environmental experts do have a point after all.
You gotta, bruh. How did you fill that up? Like, for real, you know we live in a desert, right? Like, where did this water come from?
But I want to hear what you guys think about all this Stagecoach chaos. Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this whole weekend felt like one long reality show. Were you watching any of the clips online too? Every time I saw people posting videos from the festival, the venue looked weirdly empty. And some people were actually bragging about it, saying, "Oh, it's not busy at all," like that was a flex. But honestly, I don't know if I want to be somewhere that nobody else wants to be. Do you?
Everyone's fine, and then we have this guy cutting. Cutting, all tweaked out, cutting, being rude, tweaked out of his mind. Rude, a grown-ass man.
I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown because Stagecoach definitely gave us a lot to talk about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Was this festival a total mess, or are people being too dramatic? Don't forget to comment, like, and share this video with someone who needs to see this. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys!